Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome. I am so happy to see you again. It's me, Liza, otherwise known as Crow Mother in various parts of the internet. And this week, we are going to make a spell or a sigil very specifically to put in your mailbox. We're going to talk a little bit about what a sigil is, how do we make it, and one of my most favorite and simple, easy, accessible witch tools. Put a sigil in your mailbox. Cleanse it regularly, jazz it up, and watch the blessings pour into you. Make sure that you've subscribed to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure your notifications are on so you get these every Thursday. Like this video and you know the deal. Share it widely. If you are new to me, if we are new to each other, before we do anything here, we check in with one another. Deep breath in and settle into your body. How is your body feeling today? And how is your heart? And how is your mind? I hope very much that all of these spaces within you are well, happy, joyous, and free. And I hope that if they are anything less than that, that together we will continue to find ways to find comfort or whatever it is that you need. This week, we're going to do something really simple, but in my opinion, quite powerful, very valuable, and often overlooked. The most powerful tool that we will be using this week is you. Is you and your intention. Beyond that, we have like a pretty simple list, of course, that I will add at the end of tools for you to use. Writing instruments, paper, salt. Salt is a powerful cleansing and protecting agent, or any kind of smudging instrument. You can do both. But maybe you aren't into smudging, maybe you don't have smudging, maybe you can't smudge. It's another thing that I think is really important to acknowledge within magical or spiritual practice is all of the variations that are accessible to you at any given time that are just as powerful. You're also going to want some tape. You've got your most important and powerful magical tool, and a mailbox. Why, Liza, do you have a giant spiffy mailbox in your lap? Well, it just so happens that it is time for me to replace my mailbox. I'm a firm believer in performing all of those rites, blessing, protecting, cleansing, fortifying my home and the stuff that I work with regularly with my hands. Why not jazz up that which receives my correspondence? Why not jazz up? Why not really strengthen, fortify? Why not make an agent for blessings, an agent for protection? Why not make an agent for health, safety, abundance? Why not make an agent for all of these things out of that which carries my correspondence to me, to you? Do you have to have like a gigantic mailbox like this? Absolutely not. If you live in any place where you receive mail, even if it's one of those lots and lots of wall units in an apartment, you can do this there. I promise you. Before we get into making a sigil, fortifying and cleansing your mail receptacle, I'll call it your mailbox, we have to talk about what a sigil is. For those of you that may not be familiar, and those of you that are, a refresher never hurt, let's be honest. So a sigil is a symbol made from your intention. A sigil is a symbol made entirely from your desire, your will even. A sigil is something that you create from your own hand, your own spirit. Of course, what's kind of amazing and cool is technomancy, they have automated sigil generators. So you could even stretch yourself and plug that in on the internet if that's what you wanted to do. A sigil is a symbol made from your will, your intention, broken down from a simple but powerful statement that you have made. Remember at the start of our conversation, I told you that today, and like always, the most powerful tool that you are going to use is yourself. Don't ever forget that. And so from your wish, from your desire, from your intention, your proclamation, rather, I think that actually I'd like to reframe our conversation really quickly to bolder terminology. Let's not call it a wish anymore. Let's call it a proclamation. I proclaim this statement. So a sigil is a symbol. A symbol is a magical symbol that you create based on your proclamation. We'll talk about now, like, how do you make that? Well, first of all, there are at least 3 different kinds of sigils. There are destructible sigils that you make in the same way that we'll get into. Those types of power symbols are activated upon destruction. There are temporary sigils that are made to work for a specific period of time and are entered into with the awareness that they will sort of fade. And then there are permanent sigils, that which are meant to last forever or for at least a very long time. And that's what we're going to make today. Remember, depending on how long you intend to live, wherever it is that you live, you know, if you know that you're moving, but you still want to create a power and blessing center in your mailbox, make it a temporary one. But I desire for this to be working for as long as I live in this home and receive correspondence in this mailbox. That said, do you just sort of hit it and quit it with your sigil? As far as a permanent symbol goes, you can. But you are also well within your means to regularly charge this symbol as you feel it needs. Do you want to charge it every month? Great, you do that. That's not for me to decide or tell you. That is between you and your sigil and your practice. How then do you make a sigil? So first of all, I highly suggest that you start with a pencil. I talk a lot about the alchemic power of material, the alchemic necessity for being mindful of what materials you use. I would start with a pencil and you write a sentence, a proclamation. My friends, lovers, family, this is not the time to play small here. It never is, by the way. So you start with creating an affirmation, a sentence, a proclamation. And as with any other spiritual or magical practice, I have my eyes closed because I am gazing up to my third eye. One of the ways that I could go into alpha mode, and one of the ways that I suggest that you really focus your attention and intention upon what you're about to write. Are you desiring to feel more protected in your home? So you would say, I am protected, right? I am protected, not I wish to be protected, not I will be protected, not I hope. I am protected. Do you wish for a different understanding of health? So you would say, I am healthy, or I am happy. I don't know that I'm going to write all these out, right? I am happy. These are really simple but profound and powerful statements. I am protected. I am healthy. I am happy. I am wealthy. If you are creating a sigil for a home that houses your family, you are free to write, we are protected, healthy, happy, wealthy, or my family is whatever you wish it to be. For our conversation and our workings today, I am going to encourage you to write more than one sigil and stack them together in the same mailbox. My suggestion for this moment is to pack as much intention, attention, and power into this statement as you got within you. So you write your statement. Your sigil is made from these statements. This is your spell. You are your spell. So it's important. So having made your statement, your proclamation for your spell, you are then going to, and this is part of and this is leading up to how to use the Pythagorean method for your sigil. So let's say you are taking the term, I am wealthy, because I have a green, right? So first thing you're going to do is you are going to isolate your statement and you are going to remove any vowel and any repeating letter. A, E, I, O, U. So I, boop, done. A, M, I, M. E. Great. So that should leave you, that should leave you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could have as little as 2 letters. You could have, who knows, you could have a whole lot more. Just make sure that you have removed your vowels and your repeating letters in that. After you've taken everything out and you have whatever is left, anywhere from 2 up to goodness knows how many letters you got left, you are then going to use a Pythagorean numerology system. You're going to just plug in whatever it is that you have left. Then you are going to make a number wheel. Is this a lot of steps? Yes, but also no. You are investing a lot of power, a lot of time, heart and soul, magic into drawing to you good fortune, protection, health, prosperity, happiness. I think that it's worth a couple extra steps, in my opinion. What's really important about this is that you only go up to 9, as you can see here in this chart. And so your number wheel is also only going to go up to 9. So you're going to make a circle and you're going to make 9 slices of pie. You're then going to number them. What order do they have to be in? They absolutely do not. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can go backwards, forwards. They can be completely random, because then this is where it gets really interesting. This is where I really suggest, if you haven't already, pausing. Not so bad. So I now have 2 slices. I have 4 slices. I have 6 slices. Does it have to be perfect? That's up to you. I can't really tell you on that, because sometimes for me it does have to be perfect. Right now it does not. And then I'm going to create kind of an uneven slice for my 9th piece of pie. And so I am going to do 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So after you've made your 9 slice number pie, just to keep it really simple for you, let's say that your numbers are 4, 5, 3, 2, 8, and 7. So this would spell out, I am wealthy. Why not, right? So you go from 4, 5, 3, 2, 8, and 7. I have a nice looking constellation here. So you make your shape. Now what I think, so one of the things I love about using the 9-piece number pie is that if you are not happy, satisfied with the shape that you get, if you are not happy or satisfied with the design that you get, doesn't quite feel right to you, or you just don't like the way it looks, you can rework that pie and rearrange the numbers as many times as you want until you get a formation that really feels the best to you. I'm going to just stick with this one because I can. To seal your sigil, you are going to add something to the start of it. You're going to add something to the end of it. You are going to draw a circle at the start of your sigil and a cross or an X at the end of your sigil. A circle at the start and a cross at the end. This is of course a rudimentary design, but a sigil nonetheless. Okay, why the circle and the cross? This is the entry point, the opening, the beginning for a circle, and your cross or your X at the end is where it stops. This is a closed loop. This really means that this symbol cannot be altered by anyone at any time after I have completed it. So after you've added all your elements, you feel really good about it, then I want you to transfer it to, if it is not already, onto that which you are going to place in your mail receptacle, your mailbox. If you have worked with a pencil, I would then switch to a permanent marker, something that says, I am not effing around here. Permanent marker for a permanent sigil. You are going to transfer your sigil to, say, if you've got construction paper, use construction paper. If you don't, just let me know and I'll send my 4-year-old over to your house. Kidding, I would never do that to you. If you want to really supplant your spell, your work, especially if it's one that says I am wealthy, I don't know if you noticed, I used a deep verdant green for this. So then I'm going to redraw my sigil onto whatever piece of paper. You could also use an index card, thick cardstock, literally anything that you feel is going to be sturdy enough to hold this. You're going to redraw it with permanent marker or whatever else you have that makes sense to you. Very, 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 very importantly, before you seal this, remember, this is where your tape comes in, right? Don't laugh. It's what I have around. My husband ships a lot of stuff. He is a busy guy and he's just got things like this laying around. And it works, so I use it. Practical magic. Here we go. Also, not for nothing, if you've got sturdy tape like this, it might serve you very well for creating a sturdy seal for your mailbox sigil. Remember, especially if you have a mailbox that's exposed to the elements like I do, I really want it protected. So thick tape is great if that's what you got. If not, Scotch tape will do too. Before you seal your sigil, seashells by the seashore, you are going to charge this sigil. A note on this, if you've got the time, could you create a small crystal grid? Could you create a charging altar for this? Yes, you could. Should you? That's entirely up to you. I want you to know, though, that the intention that you've placed in the creation of it to begin with is probably more than enough. You are going to charge your symbol with power, with protective energy. You are going to further ask whatever spiritual communication you engage with to see your proclamation come to life over and over and over. As you continue to do this and as you finish up your time charging your symbol, I want you to take a moment to think back to the way that you wrote your affirmation, your proclamation. I am. So as you sit here with your intention under your hand, your power symbol, you are going to sit and feel as if whatever it is you have asked the universe for, whatever you are drawing to you, you are going to feel it as though it is your current reality, because it is. That which you seek is already seeking you, by the way. So if you are protected, then you are going to sit and feel how it feels to be safe, loved, warm, provided for, protected. You're going to feel any of the things that you have proclaimed. Give it a little Reiki jazz, seal it up. Then you're going to cut it into the size that makes the most sense for you. And then you are going to seal it on both sides, front and back, with the tape. And you've cut it out to whatever size works the best for you. Mine's gonna go back here on the back. And so I am going to cut a sigil out that makes the most sense. Now, before you say you're all done, before you actually put it in your mailbox, you got to make sure it's clean. And this is where your smudging agent comes in, or your salt. I bless, I cleanse, I protect. I completely rid this space, this receptacle, and anyone who puts their hand in it, anyone who enters this receptacle, is completely rid of any negative or harmful energies. Only goodness, prosperity, health, and happiness may enter this space. And if you think that your mailbox doesn't matter, think again. Again, if you don't have smudge or you can't, taking some salt, rubbing it on the inside, more than sufficient for that. Additionally, if you feel so inclined, do you have a protective talisman that you could add to your mailbox? Throw that in there as well. The last thing that I'll advise you on when making a sigil for your mailbox is just a couple of things. Remember, if you don't live alone and you're wishing to make protective symbols for your whole family, you could say, we are protected. My family and I are protected. If you are making more than one sigil for health, wealth, happiness, whatever it is that you're focused on, make more than one sigil, seal them, cut them in just the way that you have for the first one, and then stack them on top of each other, and then tape them or seal them to the back. Finally, when you tape your sigil to the back of your mailbox, or in my case, I could tape to the bottom of my mailbox, I suggest that you tape it symbol facing side down. Because it's always working. Sure, we've blessed it, we've sealed it, it's quite powerful, but I don't necessarily want people, especially people I don't know, looking at my power symbols. They're there, but it's nobody's business what they look like. That said, it's your mailbox. It brings you all of your stuff from the world. This is why we're starting with this. But you could place a sigil underneath your pillow. You could place it above your doors. You could place it in books that you're studying. You could place sigils in your wallet. Could do this anywhere, but I suggest first starting with that which comes to you in your home. I hope that you've gotten as much out of this as I have. This practice has really, really helped me. Just changed a lot about how I interact with the world in terms of what I give, what I receive, what I put out to the world in the mail, and what I receive in turn. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications so you get these every week. Share this widely and like the video. You know it's good. You know it's good. Let me know what you think. Let me know how this goes for you. Until next week, merry meet, merry part, and merry may we meet again. Mwah.